On this episode of Happy Half Hour, did you know that Del Mar was almost the location for Disneyland?
No.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
You know, I can see it. Is it all the fields and where the racetrack is and then everything going back?
Walt Disney, when he was scouting for locations, he wanted something idyllic. He wanted something coastal. And he came down to Del Mar, looked at it. It was nearly the happiest place on earth. But Walt Disney decided that it was too expensive and that it wasn't enough land. So he went up and east, as everybody does when they want to get something a little bit cheaper.
Yeah,
you know, and
that
he
actually totally makes sense.
Went to Anaheim. So welcome to Happy Half Hour. I'm Troy Johnson. This is Jackie Bryant. This is everything you're going to need to know about San Diego's food scene for the week. Jackie handles the news. We do an interview with, and the reason why we're talking about Del Mar, and I'm going to give you everything you need to know about Del Mar that I've learned over a lifetime in San Diego, but also recently as I've been studying up on it because our guest today is from Del Mar. Here's the history. 1882, the train depot shows up. Now, this is critical. This brings tourists not only from other parts of San Diego, but also from LA. You get Hollywood. You get investors that come down. This is 1882. 1920, the Stratford Inn opens up. The Victorian style structure. It's now L'Auberge Del Mar. They had a saltwater bath, gardens. They had a zoo. They had a zoo in that property. It was a mini zoo, but it was a zoo. 1920s, there's actually an airstrip on the beach in Del Mar. Low tide, you could land a plane on the sand. It really takes off when Bing Crosby. White Christmas, all those Christmas songs, him and his Hollywood pals open up Del Mar Racetrack, 1937. Boom, it's off to the races. Look at that. Like
quite
really
literally.
Bad dad puns. I think I just that's how another child is born, right? With that shitty joke right there.
Pun both intended and not.
Pun both intended. There was actually Desi Arnaz was one of their most famous residents because Desi and his wife Lucille Ball would come down to the Hotel del Coronado and sketch out all of their the characters for I Love Lucy. They would actually work on the character development of Lucy and what was his Ricky and Lucy. They would work that out in the Hotel Del. They fell in love with San Diego, bought a place in Del Mar, and apparently their parties in the hills of Del Mar
I can only imagine.
Were legendary. In the 80s, Rusty Preisendorfer, Rusty Surfboards opens up, and it becomes that Del Mar now is a huge part of the pro surf culture. And then you get into the restaurant scene. Poseidon was actually one of the first. Originally, it was called the Fire Pit. It opened in 1968, changed hands and branding over the decades, and kind of transformed into Poseidon. The oldest existing, continually running restaurant is the Brigantine. The Brig over by Dog Beach. 1977, they opened up fish tacos all day. Jake's Del Mar was next, 1981. The Hula Pie. And then there's this place that we're going to talk about today. On the main strip, looks like just a tiny little restaurant from the street. But when you open it up, there's a subterranean outdoor, like it's a casita. It's a hacienda. It was used to be a house. It was opened up in the 1930s. It was a place called La Tienda, one of the first restaurants that ever was operating in Del Mar. Then became the beginning of one of the like kind of icons of San Diego food, El Pescador, which is now in La Jolla. That was opened by a surfer just selling a shrimp cocktail and lemonade. And then 30 years ago, a local guy got his degree in philosophy, decided that he was going to take over this place because he fell in love with Mexican culture and he fell in love with Del Mar and he wanted to kind of preserve that room, you know, the way that it was going to be. And he opened up En Fuego. It's been there for 30 years. 30 years as a restaurateur.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I'm a huge fan. And I've never lived in North County.
Yeah.
I actually don't even spend a ton of time up there. But when I first moved to San Diego 10 years ago, I worked in Solana Beach for about like a year and a half. And all of my friends, we actually like it was getting En Fuego'd, or like we would go to get En Fuego. Like it's a state of mind, a vibe. But like we would text each other and be like, "Are we getting En Fuego'd today?" And we all know what we would be doing that evening.
Because if you walk in, you realize when you walk in. I mean, it is the place where like all the celebrities would come hang out. They were the first ones to do opening day of the races parties. So you walk in there and you're like, okay, this place is special. It's a whole other world. You know, before every restaurant was designing it as like another alternate world. This was kind of an alternate world. Anyways, those are our guests on the podcast for today. Real quick housekeeping. Del Mar Wine and Food is coming up.
Speaking of Del Mar.
By the time that this episode airs, we will have announced that Guy Fieri is coming this year. He is going to be the VIP host, or the host for the VIP tent on Saturday. I've been bugging him for a couple years. I think he wanted to see if I fell flat on my face with this thing, and he got good reports back.
And his kid's here now at San Diego State.
And his kid rider is at San Diego State. So San Diego is kind of a big part of Guy's life now, and he wants to become part of it. So thank you. I owe him my second born, third born, and fourth born child. I'm going to get a Santos tattoo on my forehead. I actually sent him a photo of Santos tattooed on my forehead when he decided to say yes. So thank you to all my friends. The point of Del Mar Wine and Food, best chefs and drink makers and food culture in San Diego on the same grass. To lift them up, you bring in some of the most famous people that you know in the industry. You know, those people bring a big light. They bring a national light. And when that national light all flows to the same grass, then it lifts up San Diego's food and drink culture. It's September 10th through the 14th, the grand tasting, the big show on the grass, 13th and 14th. Get your tickets now, delmar.wine. Michael Voltaggio, Jet Tila, a lot of people are coming in some of my favorite restaurants. That's it. I realized that I didn't do an intro. We got to edit this part out. Sorry. I didn't do an intro for our guests, so we're going to have to do that later. I was either going to try to wing it in now, but just mark this for edit.
Oh, like an actual
intro. Yeah, John and Sarah. Yeah, I think we can just isolate me on cam and just do that.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, all right.
That's what we're doing.
All right, so that's Del Mar Wine and Food. And check anything out that you hear about today. Check out SanDiegoMagazine.com because you'll find out all the food news. And speaking of food news, there's Jackie's specialty, What We Got.
Oh, I am so excited. We have the best news ever coming to University Heights. Literally the best news ever. Una Mas opens. Oh, it'll be open by the time this podcast is live.
Una Mas. Yeah.
I'm so excited. University Heights, 2611 Adams Avenue. This is basically a fancy Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Can I even say that, like, legally? I don't know.
For sure.
But do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, because a fancy Taco Bell with some talent behind it. Yeah.
Extreme talent. So it's a Baja SoCal fusion brew pub from Colin Corrigan, who is from Cerveceria Transpeninsular in Ensenada. The menu is by executive chef Real Coronado, and the consulting is by Danny Romero of the Lion's Share and Ian Ward, Ponyboy, and Addison, and those are the service animals. So actually, I'm not going to lie. Ian told me about this a couple of months ago when I went to a Marigold Bagels pop-up at Ponyboy because he knows that I'm a huge Taco Bell enthusiast, which is kind of embarrassing, but true. He knows his customers. So he tipped me off about it. It's here. Menu items. We've got escabeche pickle dip, coconut and tomatillo aguachile, and elevated fast food style nachos. That's where the Taco Bell element comes in. There's a little more like fusion creative food here. Everything is going to be just dreamed up and kicked up a notch and beautiful, but also taste good and be kind of fusiony. I'm so excited.
This is, for me, service animals, if you've been to Ponyboy or if you've been to Addison or if you've been to Lion's Share, you know the Dante Romero's food, basically. He has two ducks as well, which is in the upstairs of Lion's Share. They now own Lion's Share. They became the new owners. Like, they do amazing food. Ian Ward, 3-star Michelin cocktail guy, he is doing the drinks. Also, Jeff Lozano. Here's two things. Jeff Lozano from Ballast Point. Jeff has been he's basically a spokesman. Yeah. If you go to Padres games, you'll see Jeff on the video screen talking about Ballast Point. Just a good human being who really, really knows his beer and gives a shit about San Diego culture. He's one of the people that's partnered up with it. And my buddy Jeff, who runs Baja Bound. Jeff was in one of my favorite...
The insurance company.
The insurance company. Jeff was in one of my favorite bands in San Diego, and I can't even remember the name now. It's been 25 years. But he was in a great band. Was it Goodbye Blue Monday? Was it? Jeff, you can tell me later. He was in the Casbah scene, in like the music scene, and the culture scene. He started going down to Baja all the time, and he decided, he's like, God, it's kind of a pain in the butt, to get car insurance to travel down into Baja. So he started this company called Baja Bound. And the point of that being is that he's made so many trips and his whole business is going down to Baja and being in that culture. And this is why he partnered in this, because he's like, I want to bring all the people that I've found in those travels up here into University Heights. And so he's part of it. It's just it's a feel good people, great talent, Uno Mas in University Heights.
20 taps, by the way. San Diego and Baja beer, via wine, aguas frescas, kombucha, and a coffee counter opening daily at 7 a.m. Brunch will probably towards September.
Awesome.
All right, so we're getting more viral chains in San Diego. Egg Tuck, which is a viral Korean-Japanese egg sandwich chain. It's coming here. Egg tuck is just a wild name. I don't know.
It sounds like you're cross-dressing for the night.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, right. It does.
Egg tuck, like tucking the eggs.
I once did an undercover. I did a cover story for the Gay and Lesbian Times. I dressed up in drag for the night and went out to a drag bar with two of the top drag queens in San Diego, and they dressed me up and they transformed me, and they're like tuck, and I didn't know what they meant. And they
are we gonna get fired for this?
I don't.
Should we redo this?
I don't know. Are we not allowed to say drag queens?
I'm just being hypersensitive because of the zeitgeist and like trans issues and people being mad about them and the fact that we're straight and talking about tucking. We should redo this.
Okay. That's interesting because that was, I mean, totally, absolutely. But I mean, we did it for the Gay and Lesbian Times, and it was like they
oh, no,
took me
I know.
out, yeah.
I don't want to be taken out of context like we're making fun of. I don't want anyone to get mad either way. I'm actually scared about both ways, to be totally clear.
Okay, let's start that whole thing over. Yeah.
I
think
I think
we're overly sensitive, but I think that's okay. Let's be overly sensitive and not.
Yes. Yeah. I feel weird about what I said. And I usually don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
okay,
I would appreciate it. Sorry. I just went
you're all good.
way weird right away.
Go for it.
Okay. We've got more viral chains coming to San Diego. We just had, what was that? Pop-up bagels? The one that you pull apart?
Pop-up tear apart bagels?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've got Egg Tuck, the viral Korean Japanese egg sandwich chain, which is coming to San Diego. So the first location is coming next summer, actually. So we've got some time at this, but apparently there's a location secured. And their whole thing is the overflowing brioche, like the big fluffy brioche buns, soft eggs. I'm imagining that's where the tuck comes from, like the scramble egg tuck, and a huge social media hype. And their plan is to open 3 locations in San Diego County total by the time they've done conquesting us.
Okay. The good chains have recognized that San Diego is a viable market. That's fantastic.
Finally, there's people there. We're like, yes, hello. So Dockside Night Market, it's coming back on August 7th. So like literally when you are listening to this, it's live from 6 to 10 p.m. at Tuna Harbor Pier. It's a one-night only event, 21 plus. Sorry, I just looked at the calendar.
Yeah, I don't think it hits. Does it? No.
Wait, what's going on with my calendar? Where's the month?
Yeah, I think we strike that one.
Actually, it's the day it drops.
I think we cut it.
You cut it?
Yeah.
Okay, we still have plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, so this isn't exactly a local thing that you can that is native to San Diego, but it is a big thing in the food world, and here's where you can access it here. Beth Demon did all the work for us. It's Hatch chili season, and so that is kicking off at Valley Farm Market. There'll be Spring Valley at August 2nd, La Jolla on August 9th, and they'll have Hatch Smash Burgers, quesadillas, and full-on chili cookouts.
Nice.
So like if you know Hatch chili, it's the green chili native to New Mexico and the southwestern area.
I believe, I don't even know if it was native, and I could be corrected.
Okay, maybe not native.
I could be corrected on this.
It's a staple of the cuisine there.
University of New Mexico is the #1 university for developing new peppers in the United States. I think actually in the world.
Cool.
They have created almost all of the hot peppers and all kinds of peppers. I believe Hatch is one of theirs. Could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me. That's fine.
Cool. All right. Well, it's coming here, and that's where you can get it. So Mastro's, they've opened their first San Diego location along the Embarcadero. This is that like very expensive, like chain fine dining steakhouse, and finally like coming here along the Embarcadero.
Mastro's started in the desert. They're known for it. Now they've got a ton of places. When you've got that many places, you've done a damn good job. But they're known for the service. Like their service is, I mean, the food is great.
The one in Palm Springs is like a scene too. Like it's very CNB scene. It's all of like the political elite there, or like all, like everyone who goes there to hide out. Like if you go to Mastro's on a Friday or Saturday night in Palm Springs, you will see people.
That is open right next to the Intercontinental Hotel and the former Del Frisco spot, with all those big windows overlooking the water.
Dress up for that one. And so we've got a few more things. Mission Bagels will open August 30th in Pacific Beach. This came out of a food truck. Everyone loves it. Super hyped. We're really stoked for it. Everyone's really stoked for it. Good bagels. You should go there. Mamma Mia, the market, the Sicilian market in La Mesa is expanding next door with a new pizza concept. Farm to Smash Burgers is opening in Point Loma, and Fish Shop is expanding to Oceanside.
There we go.
News.
That is your news. That's everything that's happening, that opening, the closings, and everything else. Again, check out Beth Demon's column on SanDiegoMagazine.com. She does a great job keeping you abreast of all, like everything that's coming to town. And coming up now, we're going to go into our guest of the day, Sara and John Wingate. John was a John had a philosophy degree from USD. And he had decided to, was it USD actually?
UCSD. I actually remembered that because I have two friends with philosophy degrees and they teach at both universities. And I thought, okay, UCSD, that's where Clinton teaches. So it's UCSD.
Okay. Sorry for the edit on this one. Okay. So coming up next, we've got we have our guest for the day. These guys started En Fuego in Del Mar, one of the longest lasting restaurants in San Diego, one of the longest in Del Mar. I think there's only two. I think the Brig is older, and that's just about it. These guys have lasted throughout trends, throughout cycles, throughout a pandemic. They're celebrating 30 years, and they just launched I'm not going to call it speakeasy, but a next level tiny little bar that pays homage to the very first restaurant that was in Del Mar called La Tienda. They're going to tell us what it's been like running what was at the time when it opened a crazy restaurant that was that Del Mar desperately needed.
People got to get their rocks off. They got to have fun. They got to be transported. They need to let loose and
how do you
socialize.
Turn that party and keep it going for 30 years? These guys are going to tell us how. Were you guys together because right about the same time? Were you together
about the same time? We knew each other, but I wasn't smart enough to start dating her yet.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
I was actually too busy.
Okay.
Yeah, but soon thereafter.
Okay.
It only took me a couple of years to smarten up.
No offense. It was a great idea, but we'll talk about this on the podcast to open on opening day. But I imagine as a new business owner, probably a bad fucking idea.
No, not at all.
Oh, was it? Okay.
For 10 solid years, it was pure genius.
No one was doing
We
parties
invented it.
on opening day. Nobody.
I
this was when everyone came, all the high rollers came. Everyone came into town to go to the track, and then they had no place to go. Because the track wasn't trying to keep everybody there like they are now.
This was the 90s, right?
Right.
So everyone wanted to go to our anniversary party. It was debauchery.
They were all dressed up and had nowhere to go. So we just gave them somewhere to go.
Which I feel is a story of North County. Mm-hmm. I grew up in North County and I grew up in North,
But not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's so sad. So now everyone has their after parties, and then the track does these events that they try to keep everybody. So it's not even like the track doesn't even really bring a lot of people to the restaurants anymore.
Right.
The town.
Right.
The town.
You got the party started.
Yeah.
We got the party started.
Absolutely. All right. So everybody needs that in a room. The guy that walks in or the woman that walks in is like, it's happening. Yeah. So you were that couple.
Yeah. So we opened in 95 and our first anniversary was 96. I think the grout was still drying on the bar, or that was that year. And we just said, hey, we're going to throw an anniversary party. I had just seen Dave Wakeling at the Belly Up Tavern.
Oh, yeah.
And
wait, Men at Work? No. Dave Wakeling was really famous guy, singer.
English Beat.
Thank you.
And then General Public.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, he had his band called Bang.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't have the rights to use the phrase English Beat.
Okay, so you saw fake English Beat.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw fake English Beat, but he owned all the songs, so we played that, and you've been to the Belly Up 1,000 times. So I just said, oh my God, let's get him for the anniversary party. Everybody I was with thought it was ridiculous. You can't just get
Dave Wakeling. Get him.
So we did for 10 years.
What?
He played for the first 10 years.
Dave Wakeling of
Not
the English...
every year, off and on.
No, he sat out 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
He asked me if he could get
you guys
band.
are married. This is great.
Oh, we're so married.
He asked me if he could
I'm
play
the
in
fact
Hawaii,
checker.
and I said yes. You can go to Hawaii. And he gave me a band. Who was it? Specials?
The Specials?
Oh, fun.
Specials.
Yeah.
Specials in Hawaii.
But this was downstairs. We had to set up a stage for him.
Around
At
the
the time, we
tree.
had
There
a
was still a
giant tree, and it was the smallest venue he's probably ever played, but everyone loved it.
He loved it.
Yeah.
It was so great.
Well, this speaks to the magic of En Fuego.
Yeah.
Like so I want to go back a little bit, and later on I'll get to your intro and whatnot. We're just going to start in the middle. Let's start with why did you decide to take over that place? That place has a history. I mean, it had, it was one of the earliest restaurants that was ever in Del Mar.
The first.
La Tienda, which we'll get to in a little bit. You've now opened a bar, a different bar part and cocktail part of your restaurant that kind of pays homage to its roots. And then then it was El Pescador. El Pescador was, is a San Diego legend that started with a young surfer. Forget his Jeff Norris.
Oh my goodness, you pulled that one out of a hat.
Wow. Jeff Norris started there. He was just basically serving shrimp cocktails and lemonade out of that.
Fresh lemonade.
And
True story.
we still have the original door for El
Oh, yeah,
Pescador.
to their fish market.
It's
Oh,
cut
no
out
way.
fish, and we kept it as an homage to them. And
More
so
homage.
you have to like find it. It's
No way.
right there as you walk in. Yeah.
So it's got all these layers of history. Who were you to open up a restaurant and keep that history alive? And where did you come from? I mean,
It came from Fish Market.
Okay.
So that's where I cut my teeth. Those are still my mentors to this day.
yeah.
Actually, you graduated at UCSD
Where did
with
I
a
come
degree in
This is
philosophy.
Okay.
What are you going to do with that? You go
I
work
got
at
a
the fish
degree in
market.
poetry. Yeah, I should have
They
gone to the
give
fish market.
degrees for that?
I did not know that either.
I was a
I
religious
think they've stopped
studies
since.
major,
Well, that's
which is
legit.
like the other,
That's legit.
the other side of philosophy.
What are you going to do with that? You go work at the
That's
fish
true.
market.
Graduated UCSD, wanted to stay in Del Mar, right? We've
Yeah.
talked about this, wanted to stay in Del Mar. And so in order to pay off my student loans, I had a day job and I had a night job. So fish market was my night job. And I fell in love with the whole restaurant industry right there and then. Holy crap, I could do this
Yeah.
for a while. I thought for a while.
Were you
That's what everyone thinks.
serving, bartending,
All,
manager?
everything but bartending. I believe it or not, I was a cook.
Okay.
This scares people. But I was a cook. They said, get this guy out of the kitchen. It made me a food server.
He's
and
no
they
longer
said,
a cook.
They said, oh my God, this guy graduated college. Let's make him a manager.
So being a terrible cook led to the beginning of your future.
That is
Yes.
exactly right.
Okay.
And
I
that
was
was a
such a
box
bad
I didn't
cook.
think I needed to check when looking for a husband. Can you cook? Biggest regret. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that skill didn't quite translate, but management did.
It
Okay.
did. It did. And the one line that still rings true today, they said, hey, you may not want to do this for the rest of your life, haha, but they'll teach you to run your own business.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was going to be.
Right.
But it turned out to be restaurant because as anybody who knows me well enough, it's one and the same. Me and the restaurant, they're one and the same. It's just what I was built to do.
They're the grand queso.
Yeah, there you go. And more homage. God, that's going to be our word of the day. So one of my favorite owners at the fish market, his moniker was El Queso Grande. And so when he passed, I took that on.
Oh, nice. You carried on the torch of the grand queso.
Oh yeah, I figured it was time.
Okay. In 150 years, when you pass, you'll have to pass that name down.
There you go. I'll figure out.
Yeah, there needs to be a grand queso in San Diego.
Yes, at all times.
Technically, yeah.
Fact check.
Fact check.
We can edit this.
We're going to call this episode Fact Check. He brought his own.
Yeah,
He brought a spell
listeners.
checker.
If you've got
They-
tequila or mezcal on hand and you're ready to swig
Yeah.
with us, here's a drinking game for you. We're fact checking the whole
Fact check
episode.
is nobody calls him that. His other name he's known by is Bubba. And he's had that nickname since he was 4. And all his friends, all his family, everyone calls him that. No one can call him John
Do you
except
have
me.
a secret bass fishing history? I mean, you got overalls where you stick your hand down into the mouth and you pull it out of the swamp. And why
right.
Bubba?
Right.
Bubba was, it's always been my sports nickname.
Okay.
And I grew up playing baseball and soccer, but I got it in a short story. I got it in Texas because I'm named after another John, my grandfather.
Okay.
And so they said, okay, this big John, little John's got to go. Let's go with Bubba because the firstborn son in the South is nicknamed Bubba.
Oh,
did not know
interesting.
that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Clinton is a Bubba. That put it in perspective.
After 30 years, we can call you the Grand Bubba.
yeah.
You know, that's
You
it.
can.
Yep.
Yeah, there
Yep.
we go. We have to put like a bit of respect on that name. You know what I mean? You've earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the opening of the restaurant. I mean, you saw that space. You didn't want to leave Del Mar. Obviously, a couple restaurants have moved out. What made you see future in that?
So let me take you back to the 90s. I lived on 19th Street. I graduated UCSD, moved to a beach house.
I used to get naked on 19th Street.
Yes, we all did.
Yeah,
we all
right.
did.
That was it.
In fact, if that was you, no, I won't go there.
Technically, I was changing to go surf, but yeah.
So I walked the streets of Del Mar a little quieter than they are now.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But I looked and I looked and I looked. The spaces that were available. Well, so here I am, outgrowing my management job at the fish market. So I really wanted to move on. I think they wanted me to move on. In a good way. But there was nothing. And so take you back, it was Episodes in the plaza.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
Cafe Del Mar down the street. It was Carlos and Annie's on the corner where Harry's is now. That has been Americana. That has been Cafe 222. That has been Acme. J.G. McGuire's around the corner is now Jimmy O's. Right? So different times. But the plaza was a thing. And I got a feeling like, okay, now's the time. I got the phone call. The 5-time mayor of Del Mar, who happens to be a broker, knows the town backwards and forwards. He said, "John, are you still looking for a place?" And I said, "Absolutely." He goes, "I've got a place." I said, "I'll meet you there." We walked across the street. I took one lap around and I said, "I'll take it." He goes, "I didn't tell you the deal." And I said, "Doesn't matter." He goes, "I didn't introduce you to the property owner." I said, "It doesn't matter. I've seen everything."
Okay, so you're a terrible businessman.
Terrible.
Okay.
Terrible.
Yeah. But you felt the vibes.
The vibes were there. The bones were there. They were doing a bunch of things wrong or didn't take advantage of the space. Like Sarah said, there was a giant tree in the middle of what's now the biggest outdoor bar in North County. There was a tree in the middle. Right, we had that tree for like a decade until people made it go out of the way.
Are you the biggest outdoor bar in North County?
I claim to be. Okay. I'm not sure who's going to fight me on that one.
I'm not fact checking.
Not fact checking that one. That one works on my.
If they were to claim it would be a fight. And who
if
wants
that
to
slipped
do that?
through, I'm going to claim it.
I like this. I like this. Good job.
Yeah. So
So if anybody, I want to add here, if anybody's never walked into En Fuego, I mean, it's kind of hard to believe if you've been here in San Diego for more than a few years that you haven't. But, now that it's been a restaurant for 30 years, but I mean, it's magical. You see the front and you're like, it doesn't look like much. And then you go, you're like, oh, holy shit.
Oh, this is a whole thing.
It opens up into this subterranean indoor, outdoor. I mean, it's outdoor, but I mean, it kind of feels like that tiny little speakeasy down below. And you open up into this courtyard restaurant bar, that feels like it's tucked away. It feels like a clubhouse, and it's kind of magic. You probably felt that right when you walked in.
Yeah, right when I walked in. You do, as nice as upstairs it is at street level, you get the feeling like you're in Del Mar, but you go downstairs.
Yeah.
And something
There's nothing like it
washes
in San
over
Diego.
you. I hear regularly, I feel like I'm in Mexico. I feel like I'm in Mexico.
Yeah, I believe
and the
that.
thing is, if you've been transformed and after a margarita or two, you feel like you're in Mexico, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that outdoor patio that is magical. I have termed it for a long time the center of the universe, the hub of the universe. That just stuff happens there, and I just hold on to the reins. Really.
Okay, so let's get to the stuff then. Tell me all the dirty details. I want to hear people that have embarrassed themselves. I want to hear the crimes that have gone down in there. I want to hear all of it. I'm kidding.
Well, Sarah and I were talking, that first decade, that rip off the Band-Aid, you're now in business. All you can do is hold on to the reins, like I said. So opening day, which, again, have somebody fight me on this, our anniversary party was the first of all of the after parties for opening day. We opened on opening day, so therefore every anniversary was opening day. So
I want to back up here a little bit. Opening day, that sounds like as your first restaurateur, you're like, what day can I open to get the biggest amount of buzz?
In Del Mar.
And you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, I mean, not that you don't know what the hell you're doing. You were at Fish Market, you've learned a few things, but you've never owned your own place, and you've never staffed your own place. You've never actually trained an entire staff from the get-go.
Marketed your own place, etc.
Right. And so you're like, what's the busiest day I can possibly get? Most people go for a soft opening.
Yeah.
Most people go.
yeah.
It's a great point.
You're like,
Let's
Cold
go.
opening, send it.
Full hard open.
If you want to know the next level of insanity, we had 18 days. Since I was a Del Mar local at the time, and I kind of knew the ebb and flow of the season, I said, oh my God, we have to open by July 18th, or else we'll have missed all of these humans that are walking by.
Wait, 18 days from signing?
Yes, I got the keys. Again,
No business plan, no money.
again, I was young enough and, dare I say, stupid enough to not know better. You can't do that these days. But in the 90s, in this podunk little town of Del Mar, I pulled it off.
Yeah.
And therefore, so others have opened on opening day now, which God bless them. But the anniversary party turned into debauchery. So clearly not knowing what's coming our way when you see, for the first time, I think, ever, 100 people lining up to come to your place because that's the only place you can go.
It's open.
All dressed up.
It was the hot spot. And back then, that's when like the high rollers would come in, and so would like the high rolling hookers.
Yeah.
And it being the 90s, for our party, we thought, let's leave these disposable cameras out, catch people having fun, whatever. When we got those back, we were like, what the fuck? People are having sex in what we call the Romeo room, like the back seating area.
It's definitely the Romeo. Oh, that's why. Right. Got it.
A short skirt goes a long way, and we were like, whoa, this is not what we thought was
Maybe we might want to rethink the disposable camera angle.
We might want to.
And maybe talk to our patrons, too, about having sex in our restaurant.
Safe sex. Condom machine, maybe. Right? I don't know. But just stories.
Yeah. And that goes, look. Everybody can make the decisions that they want to make in their life. And I appreciate fun. And I like environments that are fun. And that's probably something Del Mar didn't have, And I bet you it's not something that Del Mar actually wanted. Certain elements of people in Del Mar. And Del Mar's long had the strictest zoning laws. It's a beautiful place. And they're not slamming people. You want to make sure that you maintain some of its magic and some of its, the coastal views and everything else. But I imagine you probably were very popular with locals and unpopular with some of the locals.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. And at the time in the 90s, you were still able to rent a place in Del Mar for a fairly reasonable price.
Right.
So you had this dichotomy between renters that lived in the beach colony, couple $100 to live near the beach. People think I'm crazy saying that. Our rent was $575.
Good buddy of mine lived there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ours was
600
or 600
after a couple of years.
On the corner of Oceanfront and 19th.
So, and then you had the property owners. Right. Now, keep in mind, if you lived in a house on the hill, you probably bought it for a couple $100,000. Those guys are happy now selling it for 10, 15 million. But back in the 90s, you had a situation where I heard more oftentimes than not, you can't do that here.
Yeah.
Was the common phrase.
Right.
And the city council, fought me like mad. Like, you can't do that. We don't need your taxes, John Wingate. What?
Yeah.
It was a little bit of that. So to be on the other side 30 years later and to welcome the city council into my restaurant regularly.
Right.
And I tell them the old stories. They go, oh my God. Oh my God. Good times.
Yeah, crazy.
Good times.
Good times.
Yeah. What was the corner? I don't think it sounded like you turned a corner. It sounded like the day that you opened, the party came to you. I mean, there's a thirst for someplace, especially in Del Mar. I mean, we used to call it Del Mar.
Yeah.
That's been a nickname before, and I loved it. I grew up surfing there. I grew up, I knew I would walk in my wetsuit up from 15th. My mom would leave me. She worked at the VA hospital, and we would walk with our wetsuits halfway down. And sometimes we didn't have enough money, or my mom forgot sometimes, and she's a great mom, but sometimes we just didn't have money. And we'd possibly steal candy bars from the little corner stores, a liquor store that now is Starbucks, stuff them in our wetsuits and go down to the beach. Yeah. Anyways, it was pretty quiet. It was a pretty quiet place. So, I mean,
super sleepy.
So En Fuego was En Fuego.
It was. I remember back at the time how many businesses were turning over. Mm-hmm. And it was a little, I still love Del Mar. I loved it then. I still love it. But at the time, there were more businesses leaving than showing up. Yeah. And so kind of a risk, but God darn it, I was silly enough to think I could pull this off. But the town was waning. Yeah. And needed a little shot in the arm. I hired in the 90s. My very first set of employees all either walked, rode a bike, or rode a skateboard to work. Right, awesome. And so that is what brought all of the locals. Oh, hey, Pete works there. Yep. Johnny O works there. BK works there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go see him.
Wait, Johnny O is in the Johnny O?
Johnny O'Connell, the legendary surfer of 19th Street. Yes.
No shit.
Yeah, one of our very first employees. Yeah.
He got all the best bartenders in Del
yeah.
Mar to
Got
come work
it.
for
Legends
him.
of North County. Yeah.
Business plan.
Yeah. So
One business plan.
that's brilliant. You want to have the community. I mean, the legends of the community.
Yeah.
Hey, you want a job? Well, I will help you get a job. I'll make you star center. And then locals, people that can actually, ride their bike, ride their skateboard, walk to the place. They're going to bring all of their friends.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
and they did
The following.
in droves. We had to build a second bar, so downstairs was full, like in the old days, 3 deep, and the line out the door. We had to build a second bar, so we built a second bar. The locals brought me a bartender. They said, "Hey, it's getting kind of crazy. We're thinking if we had one of our friends bartending, we'll go to that bar if that's cool with you." I go, "Cool with me," and then we filled the next bar. Right. So that was upstairs. That was what we used to call the Red Room. Yeah.
So wait a minute. So your original place became too crazy. The locals couldn't get a drink. So they were like, how about we bring in a personal bartender? And that became the second part of your business?
Yeah. Yeah. True story. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that I had was I could be flexible.
Yeah.
Right. If I didn't know better, I could certainly be flexible.
And if this
And
works
these
for
guys
them.
were all bartenders at local other places. The Kona had just shut down, so we got Pete. Johnny O was tired of Pacifica at the time, and like I said, BK was brought to me by the locals, all the Torrey Pines kids that are now. I think what we did was we owned the 25 to 35 demographic at the time, which had nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Look, Del Mar Wine and Food last year, I should have come to En Fuego, to be quite honest with you. I apologize. I had all the Food Network chefs in my car. And I was looking. We ended up at the Kraken. The Kraken was, I think there was it was a biker rally, and it looked a little intense, And there was. We tried to find somewhere else. Went to like the in Solana Beach. What's the saloon? The Surf and Saddle.
Surf and Saddle.
Yeah.
Went to the Surf and Saddle. Surf and Saddle was like karaoke night. It was like nah. I was like, this is not what I'm looking for.
I'm trying to picture you with all these chefs going to Surf and Saddle, which is classic. But yeah, might not have been a foodie capital for them.
No, they were more looking for like hard drinks and everything else.
Yeah,
We were at the
just
point of the
wanted
night.
to
It was
chill.
like we'd had enough food. It's like let's just go drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys have kind of are you guys still? I mean, late night. I mean, do you guys still stay open late night? Is it still a scene?
So that's what we've got La Tienda for.
Okay, so tell me about the launch of La
That
Tienda.
is late night. So Del Mar has been a roller coaster for 30 years, up and down and up and down. And our buddies over at Monarch, they crush big numbers. So we sit back and say, let's circulate all these humans. But what our cocktail curators do in La Tienda is
Not mixologists, not bartenders, but cocktail curators.
Yes.
Okay.
We can't.
Rodrigo and Logan.
Yes, Rodrigo. Some of the best personalities you're ever going to find. And they are so super connected with all the local bartenders.
Are they long time in place or are they new?
So they are longtime Del Mar employees.
Okay.
So got Logan from Spica when Dan sold Spica.
Yeah.
He was ready to move on. Rodrigo had been knocking on our door for some time, and we didn't want to just use him as a bartender downstairs. He's just got way too much cocktail knowledge. And so Sarah and I decided it was time to renovate the La Tienda space.
Yep.
And this time through, we went with La Tienda Lounge with elevated, curated, amazing cocktails. Here's one.
This is
my
fantastic.
personal
Tell us
favorite.
Mine
what-
is
tell us what you're
gone.
The
This one-
Desperado.
This is the Desperado, which is
Half tequila, half mezcal, sweet vermouth, dry vermouth, a little bit of lemon, dash of agave nectar, of course, and a little dash of bitters. My personal favorite. Never had one at noon, though. But
this is phenomenal.
they are good.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
but that's the kind of cocktail.
the two
that
faces
is
of agave in the same glass.
Yes.
with a
Yeah.
martini base almost.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it goes down so smooth. But these guys are so good; they needed their own space, and we're not quite a year. I'll let you know. You guys are both invited to the anniversary party of La Tienda.
Is Dave Wakeling playing?
In the
he-
corner.
He did respond to my
corner.
text for the 30th. He's older than me, so I'm not sure if he's still. I think he's still playing, but not in the
Can I get
same-
him humming? Can I get him like drinking at the bar and humming it?
That'd
I
be
just want
great.
him
I know.
just playing a guitar and telling a story.
I-
He's such a
that's
great
it.
guy. He's a great guy.
Dave Wakeling, the English Beat, has played at your anniversary party. It played the first 10 years. Sorry.
9 out of 10
9 out of
years.
10.
9 of the first 10 years.
I love that.
He loved that we created a green room for him.
Okay.
And-
what was the green? Are we talking about the kitchen?
It's a
Are we
giant
talking about the
space,
buzzers?
so there's rooms everywhere, if you
And
must
Fuego
know.
it's like hidden room, hidden staircases. It's like a labyrinth of
Although it was built as a house.
I was going to say, let's
built
go
as
into
a
the
house.
history of this
history.
place.
Yeah, it's been like
So-
our front office. That was a travel agency.
Okay.
Long time ago.
He wants to go all the way back to the
go
30s.
all the way back. Go
So
to the
that-
30s. Hit it.
In a nutshell, it was built as a house, and there's another house that matches it next door, same property owner.
Okay.
It was a house. Well, they had a lot of people coming and going. They thought, hey, let's just serve tacos, kind of a deal. It's pre-war, right?
Yeah.
I have a wartime cocktail napkin picture, not in person, of wartime La Tienda.
Yeah.
That's amazing stuff.
Yeah,
right.
I'll bet.
The only restaurant in town, and then eventually there's more. But
Because was that during that time? Was that when they were using like the lagoon to land for the wartime efforts?
I'm sure Del Mar Airport and wartime effort was in Del Mar. People don't know that, but you do.
Yeah.
I didn't
it's
know
true.
that.
Yeah. I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
We were talking dirigibles would land in
Yeah.
Del Mar as well as a very short, I think, landing field. But so La Tienda, very, very rich in storied history. And that's why I could never let go of the space. I didn't get it in 95. True story.
Yeah.
There was another tenant there. And the deal I had with the property owner, I said, anytime any one of these spaces, there were 5, I still pay 5 SDG&E bills. Anytime any one of these spaces opens up, I'll take it.
So there's 5 spaces within that entire structure.
Yeah. And Dave Wakeling's green room was one of the spare rooms.
No
he was so
way.
impressed with our green room. He goes, hey, you know what? This is better than Belly Up. I said, don't tell them that.
He loved our green room.
Right.
This is like an anthill.
It
You know
just
what I
keeps-
mean?
yeah.
It reminds me of that. If you ever see an anthill, you see like a little, because your spot,
Yeah.
you look at it from the street and you're like, oh, what a
cute little
it's
place.
small.
Yeah.
Right. And then you go down, you're like, what the hell
Yeah.
is in here? It's got all these little lanterns underneath.
People still ask me because I think it was 90s, 2000s, that the green room, after Dave Wakeling was done with it, so after the first decade,
Yeah.
we turned it into a VIP room with bottle service.
Okay.
We're willing to try anything. Like I said, flexible.
Absolutely. Roll with the times.
Roll with the times. And so turn it into the VIP room. Again, private bathroom, not a great idea. Live and learn. Live and learn. But people are
Now
still,
you know for sure.
still to this day
Didn't need
asking
a
me-
camera to find that
Yeah.
out.
No.
No.
Didn't he?
Didn't
They're
need
still
the
asking
disposable
Just
me-
camera.
needed
Yeah.
ears?
Oh, yeah. You just needed ears, exactly, or clean up at the end of the night.
Right,
But
yep.
but people are still asking to bring the green room back, so that's next on the list.
Oh,
right?
God.
But La Tienda is 100% up and running.
Yeah.
Good times, light bites, and amazing cocktails, and one of the best tequila encyclopedias library in North County. I'm not going to claim all
Ask
of
him
San
how
Diego.
many tequilas we carry.
How many tequilas?
I had to count.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, over 200.
Yeah, over 200.
Yeah, and I thought I would never be that guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dusty
You're like,
bottles.
fine, 7.
Yeah.
No.
I was so over 200, but as impressive, 50 mezcals. I mean, people don't even think there's 50 mezcals in existence.
Now I'm turning my chair around.
But
Okay.
Right?
now Troy's into it. But yeah, it's again, with everything else, it's kind of a labor of love. Whether we go down to Mexico and pick these things out, learn the stories, learn about the palenques in Oaxaca or anything else, go to the distilleries and
So let's talk a little bit about that. You guys both genuinely love and travel down to Mexico all
Love
the
it.
time.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
And first let's start with like you were. No, I'm gonna switch to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Sarah, you come into the picture. You guys know each other when he takes this fly on a
Yeah.
new restaurant in Del Mar that is apparently a sex den, and he doesn't really know what he's doing. It opens up on opening day. It's chaos. He manages to make it through. You know him, and then he doesn't have enough good sense to start dating you until a year later. What was your impression?
Almost a year later. What was really funny is that I did a stint up in LA and then I moved back to Del Mar and I walked by the restaurant and I was like, I don't remember it being called En Fuego. That's weird. And then I hear my name and I look up and he's on the roof.
Sarah.
And I'm like, oh, hey. And mind you, for as long as I've known him, everyone calls him Bubba. And I literally told him, I know everyone calls you Bubba, but
Please
I'm just
don't.
going to call you John.
Yeah.
I can't do that Bubba thing. And he jumps down and I said, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, I'm an electrician now, because he was fixing something. And I said, good
He's
for
plugging
you.
something in.
I said, good for you. You're out of the
I was
restaurant
rewiring your
business.
front sign.
Figured
That's
it
how
out.
bad
Yeah.
the place was.
Got it.
You're out of the restaurant business. Good for you. And he goes,
Oh, I'm deeper in it.
actually, this is my place. And I went, oh, so sorry. Great.
Yeah. First year, the place looked like hell. I don't even think I painted all 4 walls of it yet. And she shows up, right? Knew her from fish market days. So, hey, yeah. But to add to the story, she would come in regularly and not even give me the time of the day. Not.
It reminded me of places I've
She
been
didn't even
in.
refute that shit, by the way.
No.
I just want to make sure.
She was like, I
for the
did
record.
not.
Did not. That just we were friends.
Yeah.
But no, it reminded me of places of restaurants I had been to in Costa Rica. Just
Yeah.
how it's like the different levels and all outdoors. And I was
casita.
like,
Yeah.
God, this is like so unique and it's just got great vibes. So yeah,
And the owner's not such a jerk anyway.
no, no.
Bubba's okay.
Yeah.
We don't
So
call
yeah,
him Bubba.
he was telling me about this new restaurant that opened in Hillcrest or Bankers Hill called Laurel at
Yeah.
the time.
Laurel, which now is Cucina Urbana.
Yeah. And he was telling me how great it is and it's brand new and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
And
like,
the
well,
manager
that's.
was playing guitar that night.
Yeah. And I was
Okay.
like, okay. He goes, I'm trying to ask you out on a date. And I said, you are?
This is
Had to clarify it.
No, he just kept talking about it. And I'm like, good. Let me know how it is. And so, anyway, that's us.
That's us in
That's
a
us.
nutshell.
And
Yeah.
then have you helped run the place? Have you helped? I mean, I know that you have your own career as an esthetician.
I'm for the most part, I've always been behind the scenes. I've always been like,
She does the aesthetic.
always done the aesthetic. We got
Okay.
to paint this, we got to paint that, and
Yeah.
it's such a big place that sometimes it's so overwhelming that it's like, oh my god. But I would say the past year and a half, this is the most involved I've ever been.
Okay.
And our kids are grown. Yeah, it's just really
Are the-
fun. And La
do the kids work
Tienda,
there?
Our
They
son
have.
does.
Well, both of
our
them
daughter
have worked there.
has. Yeah.
My son currently still does. He's in our wheelhouse. He's 21. So, and you try to parent through the restaurant,
Yeah.
which is challenging. But yeah, both of our kids have worked.
I love how you air quoted your entire body to say
Yes.
that. Yeah. You try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But La Tienda is like, it's like my baby because that's, I feel like I've given birth to
really has
that.
taken pride in it.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
So La Tienda is an homage to the roots. I mean, one of the very first restaurants in Del
Yeah.
Mar. You took some of the best bartenders you could possibly find in Del
Right.
Mar and did, cocktail curators, and created, this and describe I actually haven't been in the actual space. What did you do with the space? Describe it for people.
Everything. I mean, obviously it's the same footprint,
Yeah.
but I had help. Janet McCulley of McCulley Design Lab was great. And
Yeah.
we worked together on that and we just came up with this sexy space.
Yeah.
So it's like a bar within En Fuego
Yep.
that people don't even know. Like a lot of our regulars are like, oh my God, like when did this happen? Because it's only open right now for the summer, Wednesday through Saturday.
Yeah.
It's 21 and up, 6 till midnight.
Okay.
And the drinks you get there, you cannot get at the downstairs bar. And we have like light bites up there that you can't get elsewhere.
These are the truly ambitious, creative, fever dreamy kind of cocktails.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're using rare ingredients. Obviously, you have over
Yes.
200 different tequilas and mezcals and everything else.
It's amazing.
So let's go into you guys exploring Mexico. I mean, you guys have your own private mezcal.
Yes. So we went down to that Palenque
Okay.
with Zikaru and we chose our barrel. So we do, John has been doing the barrel program with Herradura. We're on our 30th barrel, which
Okay.
is huge.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's
a
a
lot of
lot.
tequila.
It's a lot of tequila, but we blow through it. We're
Yeah.
sold out. We've been waiting for our 30th barrel. Really getting into our, what's the word? Edit this.
You're all good.
What is it? Not artificial free. Additive free
Additive
tequila.
free
So
tequila.
we just were down in the little cute town of Tequila with El Tequileno.
Okay.
And so we just got our first barrel from them.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And then this beautiful thing
Oh yeah.
is explain to everybody what I'm holding.
I'm sorry.
Explain to everybody what I'm holding.
Oh, that is our first excuse to go to Oaxaca. Is really what it is.
Tax write-off. It's for business.
Okay.
So rarely do we get the perks that other businesses do, but road trips like this make people jealous. So Sara had long been wanting to go to a different part of Mexico because we haven't seen enough of it.
How many times do you guys estimate that you've gone down to Mexico?
I don't know, because when we were dating, we would just go drive down for lunch. Those are the days you could drive down, have lunch,
La Fonda.
So
yeah.
Rosarita,
and turn
Ensenada.
around
Yeah.
and go back home. And
Yeah.
it was no big deal. And while we were in
And that's why so many San
Rosarito,
Diegans fell in love with Mexican culture.
Yeah.
45 minutes door to door.
Yeah.
we would we would pick up stuff and we're like, oh, we could use this for the restaurant. We could use that. Our original bar stools we had made in Rosarita.
For
Handmade,
sure.
Wrought iron.
Wrought
Yeah.
iron, all the wrought iron down there.
Rosarito.
Rosarito.
Oh, thank you. I think
So-
Springsteen's
but
yeah.
song
Fact check.
is Rosarita.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
it.
We can fact check. But
Miles Davis threw me off, and I'm thinking Springsteen. now.
But it's so that has always been a thing for us is genuine, authentic Mexican straight across the board, whether it's the aesthetic or the food. We've always wanted to be part of that culture, and we've fallen in love with it. And to be fair, so we do barrel selections regularly with Herradura. The one with El Tequileno is new. That was a great road trip. Brought two bartenders, one cocktail curator, one bartender. To be fair, longtime bartender. The bartender we had to take has been with me for 15 years.
Yeah.
So he had to go. And sidebar for that trip, just happened to bump into Guillermo Souza of Fortaleza.
Yeah.
Just happened to?
It just happened
Just-
to. I
well,
was like,
yeah.
oh, I've heard that name before.
Well, so he's drinking at our hotel, so that clearly invited me to the table. But our master distiller from El Tequileno, who we just had a barrel selection with, waves us over. Great time. Different podcast. But when you get to meet Guillermo Souza face to face and ask him about Fortaleza, I mean, that makes the whole trip worthwhile.
The first time I ever went down to Costa Rica, there was Robert August sitting on the beach at Playa Negra. I'm like, you are the star of Endless Summer. My first surf session in I'm like, you're Endless Summer. This is that's almost the exact same experience.
Yeah.
You go, wow, pinch me, right? Yeah. So we go down regularly. So I want to say 25 times. You're making that face
No,
like you're
way more
fact
than
checking
that.
me. 30?
We went 3 times this year.
Okay.
So you guys go down there.
3 times a year for 30 years.
And you really helped build the restaurant from the trips down there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It
Absolutely.
inspires everything. Every time we go,
From the chip baskets to the
everything.
lanterns, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be like all the decor. And now we're kind of going into a more modern aesthetic.
Yep.
But like we're very aware that when people come, they want to feel like they're in Mexico. As a
Transported.
matter of fact, we joke because I think a lot of our staff would love to play nothing but different Mexican music or different music other than Mexican music. But people have thanked John
Yeah.
for when they go in. It's kind of like when you go to Mexico yourself and they're blaring American music.
Yep.
You're like, I want to feel like I'm in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, people have thanked us for that. Like, I'm so glad you guys play this music because it really helps us,
Keep it
with
real.
the whole, yeah.
It's been Spanish Mexican music
Yeah.
from day one.
In the
yeah.
mornings they can blast rock and roll, which is great. I love that. But yeah, we always keep it.
It's so funny because it's usually the opposite.
Right?
You know, if you see the kitchen's off
The
hours.
kitchen.
Yeah,
Oh, the-
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
the kitchen's
It's a
off
different story.
hours. A lot of times because a lot of Hispanics and Mexican workers are in the kitchens. You know, you hear all that Mexican radio, and that's like the sweet love sound.
yeah,
of
it's
the
like
is.
kitchen.
bachata.
It kind of floats through the air, and you're like,
Tango
oh
or-
man, it's
Well,
like
if you get to the restaurant right at opening, you can't tell if that's the music coming
Yeah.
from the kitchen or coming from our stereo.
And they'll be singing in the kitchen. They'll be singing along. It's just, I love
That's
that
a good
stuff.
sign that you have a happy staff.
A happy staff and,
Yeah.
and a good Mexican
If the
restaurant.
staff is
right?
singing, that's a happy staff.
Yeah. What was the one day that you guys, 30 years, you're going to go through some ups and downs. You went through recessions. I'm sure there was times when you were rolling high and everybody was showing up at your door and everybody was ready to support your dream. And I'm sure there was days and you're like, holy shit, we got to close. There has to have been one day when you are like a time where
They call that COVID.
yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it
So-
took that long. To be fair, that's a
Yeah.
long time
we
in
made it all
business.
the
If
way
that
to
was your
COVID and
first
said,
oh shit
okay.
moment. Yeah.
So the Del Mar, there is a great Del Mar owners group text.
Well, I would love to be on
oh,
just
yeah.
for 5 minutes. Just give me a scroll.
Great dirt. But so we all, not everybody was in the same place during COVID, but a handful of us got together and we just said, we're crying in our beers.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh my God, we're closed. And no one knew from a day to a week to a year. So that was the darkest times.
Yeah.
Customers would still come in. Our longtime musician, Michael Tiernan, came in to see me.
Michael Tiernan. I used to cover music in San Diego. Know him very well. Great.
He
He's
still
so
plays
good.
every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Puts
Every
on a hell of a
Wednesday.
show. He came to see me. He goes, what do we do? He goes, can I just come in and shoot a show here? Absolutely. Like, my place is your place. He ended up doing it at home, but that was, But the other restaurant guys, we got together and we just said, is this it?
Yeah.
Is this it? And I won't tell you everyone at that meeting, but Tom Powers, who's a longtime owner of Board and Brew, and I were in the meeting. And dare I say, everyone else has sold. Everybody else that sat in on that meeting, has sold. And so, probably in the 2 years afterwards, so those are the darkest of times.
On the edge of the cliff. You've been in it at that point. You've been in it almost 25 years, and you haven't had a year. You've had this incredible, not I won't say stretch of luck, because you've worked your ass off to create something that is very special, and you've been into that place, and you obviously have longtime employees, and it feels like Mexico, and it just feels like a local place, But that was to go 25 years straight, and finally, and then hit that. It's over.
Yeah.
In one night, this may be over.
A
few weeks.
It was the weirdest thing because the news flash. We were in the middle of lunch and we couldn't even open for dinner. That's how it came. I want to say March 19th.
It was like
And
17th,
Record
17th,
scratch,
right?
break, stop.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, though. It's like restaurants aren't meant to come to a screeching halt.
Oh, no.
Because you have payroll.
Right.
You have to make.
Perishable goods.
Perishable goods.
That's another group text, right? Who
Yeah.
wants my avocados? Who
Well,
wants
and that's
my
why
cheese?
everyone had to be laid off, right? And I remember back at the time, just like in social media and out in the world, people were like, "Oh, restaurants are laying off their," and it's like, no, you have to, because again,
Yeah.
like the cash flow and the way that restaurant accounting goes is you're expecting to have people keep coming in the door and the money flowing.
Yeah.
So if it stops abruptly, there's no restaurant plan for that, right?
No,
yeah,
no.
I remember that.
None. Yeah, there's no parachute. There's no nothing. So, but I will tell you what helped bring us out of it. Two things. My chef and I, Sergio, it was Sergio at the time. We came in and cooked. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Fuel the Front Line. So we cooked for the hospitals, the doctors and nurses. And oh my God, what amazing enthusiasm.
Oh, I can imagine.
My God. And then, so we did that just to be able to do something. Because mentally, psychologically, you have to continue to put one foot ahead of the other. Keep going, keep swimming. So then Encinitas was big on let's just do outdoor cafes. Del Mar was kind of, we were all texting and waiting.
Yeah.
And a couple of us that were outdoorsy.
Because
We're all
how
outdoors.
much of your
you've got space.
restaurant is outdoors?
90%.
90%.
Because of the windows.
So the La Tienda space basically shut down. It was indoors.
Okay, yeah.
We turned that into takeout eventually. But since we were outdoorsy, we said, let's just do what Encinitas is doing, but let's stay out of the news.
Yeah.
Let's not. Encinitas was the poster child
Oh,
for
my God.
you're not supposed to do
We're
this.
doing this, everybody.
Yeah. And that was
So we all agreed wisely, let's fly below the radar.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's not talk
Me
about
and
it. Let's just do
Viewpoint
it, please.
opened. I opened. Americana opened.
But then takeout took off, and the ABC allowed people to get alcohol.
Alcohol
Oh,
to
go.
go.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
like
totally different ballgame.
That
everyone
the
was so
biggest
tired
game
of cooking
changer.
at home, and then
Yeah.
they wanted cocktails
Game
to
changer.
go, and we were like, "What?" Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine doing Cinco de Mayo takeout style.
I can imagine this.
Personal
actually.
nightmare. Personal nightmare.
Was it a first?
Oh my God!
You,
Yes.
you can't imagine. They drove from miles. They drove from 10s and 20s. Oh my God, the line out the door. But let me tell you about when we, both that night and when we let people back in, the most gracious customers you're ever
Yeah.
going
There
to
was
see.
a graciousness that was rediscovered after the pandemic that will never be regraced again. Oh, it was.
I miss it.
There we hit an apex of dickishness in the restaurant culture. Everybody was Yelp reviewing because they'd show up at 7 people on a Saturday night and they didn't have a reservation and they saw one 4-top over there and they're like, why can't you just let me? And then they just light people on fire on the internet.
That's still happening. Try.
I know.
I will say,
We're
yeah,
back.
the vibes are back.
Yeah.
We're back.
But
We're
there were a
back.
few
That is
years where
never-
we
In
were
fact,
all
did you just
really
read that?
nice to each other.
There was a couple
like
years
really
where it
nice.
felt really nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
God,
They
cool.
were-
the bar, yeah. You know?
The customers were so gracious coming out of that time period, and they were like, "Thank you for being open.
Right.
Thank you for serving food. Thank you." I was like, "Oh my God!"
Oh, I
can
believe
this-"
that fully.
Yeah.
We were the customers.
Yes.
I remember the places
Absolutely.
that stayed open, and you could tell it did something for the owners of the places that really made a thing out of staying open and innovating and redoing their business and redoing their service lines. And so I just know, I remember as a consumer, everyone, because it gave them life too. Like we were still doing life together in some way, right?
Yeah.
We did everything right.
Normalcy.
We separated the tables. We were wearing masks. We did all that. The irony is we did get 2 cease and desist letters. Right, like you have to close. But the guy who handed it to me goes, "Hey, don't shoot the messenger." And he goes, "By the way, I don't think anybody else is going to come." I said, "Thanks for that." But go ahead and videotape and show them how well we're doing. That never added up to anything. We stayed open.
Yeah,
and
we all
just
had
kept
a
going.
little bit of a wink, like, look, I get it. I need to do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
But if whatever you need to do to survive, I think everybody make your own decisions here.
Yes. Yeah.
Official capacity.
Yeah.
Need to do my job.
Do it thoughtfully, right?
Yeah.
With the knowledge in
Well,
mind.
hey,
Yeah.
cheers to
Cheers.
making
Salute to
it
that.
past then and opening La Tienda, an homage to the past with some cocktail curated, beautiful mezcal and tequila. This is Zucchero?
Zikaru. Yeah. From the lovely town of Oaxaca.
Did we mention that this is batch 001?
Yeah.
I must have missed that. I'm sorry. How cool.
They had done more batches. I think that's bottle number 1. But
is lovely.
It
That's
really
cool.
is. So barrel selections, let alone for mezcal and tequila, you have a situation where that's the only bottle. So if somebody really likes that, and we've done that, somehow did we not mention we're on our 30th barrel?
I did when you cut out.
Holy
Yeah.
mackerels. So when you do a barrel selection, that's the only bottle in existence for that barrel. Makes it very unique. And we did one with a Herradura and Añejo, which was just amazing. Sorry to say sold out, but amazing. But that bottle right there is unique to us.
And you brought it to Happy Half Hour. Do we get to keep it when you leave?
That is yours.
That's yours.
Oh my
That
God,
is
I
yours.
love you
Along
guys
with
so
the
much.
glasses.
Along with
Like we
the,
talked about
copitas.
perks and the copitas too. Oh my God, this is getting better and better. For
Well,
us,
it
Jackie.
matches.
Have you been to Oaxaca?
I haven't been to Oaxaca. I've been to tequila. Yeah, I've been to tequila and I've been to we went into the fields and watched used a co-op, which is the most dangerous thing I've ever seen in my entire
Still
life.
have all your toes?
They let you?
They let us use that. I couldn't believe it. So a koa is basically it's
Giant axe.
Yeah,
Sharp.
but it looks like a
Really
a
sharp.
pizza peel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It looks innocuous because it's round at the end. There's a round blade. And you're like, oh, I can get a pizza out with this, or I can get all 19 of my toes.
Yeah.
You know, it is.
I'll show you guys later. I have a video of me busting one up.
It is
They
the
let me
sharpest
do it
thing
too.
you'll
I don't
ever
know why.
put it.
but-
Yeah.
So
crazy.
let me just throw this out there. We're due for a trip. Is there any chance that you guys would come with us?
I think there's not. I mean, yes. I mean, there's.
Jackie is in. She's
I
already
am-
got the tattoo.
I'm due. I
How
haven't been
fun would
down
that be, you guys?
since COVID.
San Diego
which is
Magazine
crazy.
and En Fuego go down to Oaxaca.
I think there's a road trip in our future, you guys.
Road trip.
Yes.
Love it.
I'll meet you at
anytime we get
CBX.
a chance to go down to Mexico with friends. This is why, honestly, partially why I haven't left San Diego is because of Mexico.
Actually, same, 125%
grew
the same.
up going down into Baja. Love the culture, love the people, love the environment, love the discovery of it all. And it's just it's a completely different culture and world that you get to
And it's
experience
there.
within 25 minutes.
We're so lucky though that we have that. Don't tell anyone, but there's that airport, that crossing.
I know.
Right.
It's
Life-changing.
Yes.
That's
know,
a real
fly out
feat
of
of
Tijuana.
diplomacy.
Yeah.
How we were talking about how during COVID everybody got along. The fact that CBX exists and that the two governments figure that out over that border fence is it's proof that we can figure some stuff out. I
Exactly.
You're
think.
right. Real diplomacy and
Yeah.
genius.
Before we're running long on time, so I have to
Imagine.
wrap up soon. But before we do,
This is the new happy half hour. We're on time now.
you came in here and you humbly said, like, look, we're not like Michelin star. We're just basic, humble food. That's excellent. That is
Delicious.
very, very good. And so explain to us what we're eating here. This is a legend inside of your legend.
Oh, that's the newest legend. I have to give my wife full credit for this.
Remember, mason jar. Yeah. It's me.
This is pre-fact check.
She ordered
We're avoiding
herself
the
a
fact check.
cocktail in the mason jar and gave him the nice, pretty glass. That was,
She's
that's
good
how
like
a
that.
marriage works.
She's my muse. Yeah. So longtime friends with Seaside John. So
Seaside Market, John.
from Seaside Market, and Sarah said, "Is there any chance you could talk to him about using Cardiff Crack at the restaurant?" I said, "Oh, honey, that's crazy talk." Well, one day John finally hits me up for a favor, and I go,
well,
Yeah.
I go, here's my in. He goes, "Hey, we all good?" I said, "Yeah, we're good, but why don't I stop by the office and we could talk about how good we are?" And so I dropped the bomb on him. I said, "Hey, I'm ready. Now that you're at Petco, I'm ready to start using Cardiff Crack at the restaurant."
Like, come on.
And he goes, "Done." I go,
He's like, I already opened the door. Whatever.
I go-
Yeah.
Built this
Yeah.
moment up. He's like, I was wondering when you were going to ask.
"Dude, 3 years in the works, and you just say done." He goes, "Yeah, well, I got to introduce you to Peter. You got to walk through the process. I got to teach you." But yeah, we're good.
So you took Cardiff Crack, which if you don't know, Cardiff Crack is one of the most legendary meats in San Diego. It's one of those like, yeah.
You can't live
Burgundy
in
tri-tip.
You can't live in North
Burgundy
County and
tri-tip.
not know it exists.
His
Yeah.
birth
From
name.
Cardiff
Yeah.
Seaside Market.
Cardiff
We just want to
Seaside
make sure we hit all the trademark points and,
Yeah.
and the
And
copyright
Like he
points.
needs another plug.
I
Oh
know,
my
my
God.
God.
He's
The-
good.
I'm just being legally
Yes.
buttoned up.
One of the
Yes.
most famous marinated meats that has ever come out of San Diego. So he taught you guys how to. You're doing it in your
Well,
own
I
kitchen.
watched it. No. So there's what Sworn in Blood secrets.
Omerta.
Yeah. I watched and I learned, but they do the whole process. We're on the grill. We grill it to perfection.
Okay. There you go.
Cut it as you see there.
Yep.
Cube it up. They made plenty of suggestions, all valid and true. And so all we really did is follow their guidance.
I think plenty of suggestions is the name for anybody that has done well in life. I have plenty of suggestions for you on how to use my product.
Yeah, but it has been a hit. So we couldn't not bring those. The other thing
So
we brought.
Cardiff Crack in with what else?
Oh, so we're smart enough now to put Cardiff Crack in everything. Street
Okay.
tacos, burritos, Cardiff Crack,
Nachos.
nachos. I know that's Petco Park thing.
This is a
but-
Simon and Garfunkel of North County food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. But the other thing you have is my chef Fernando he's been dying to put birria and therefore quesabirria on the menu,
And you have the consomme.
and we have the consomme, and that is weeks old and already burning the charts.
It's delicious. It's
weeks
perfect.
on the menu. I should
Only,
say.
like only weeks out of 30 years.
Sorry, Troy. I didn't bring you week old
It's been
birria.
sitting in the box
That
for a
has
week.
only been on the menu for 2 weeks, and it
It's
is
great.
already.
And it's a quesabirria, so it has cheese
yeah.
in it. It's got consomme, so it's a nice
I
little.
was going to say a couple weeks old. We are going to
Still
actively
good.
watch
Bye,
Troy
Troy.
get gastrointestinal
Yeah.
distress.
Boom.
Yeah, no, that is that. I mean, it's excellent. I mean, that is
Great.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Nope. So it's birria on the menu because Sarah does not eat cheese, and then we brought you quesabirria because that's muy authentico.
Oh, I mean, it's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, queso anything. I'm
Yeah.
sorry that
I
you don't
know.
eat cheese.
I
mean,
can't,
okay. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it.
I know.
It just happens to some of
Maybe
us.
a regular
Awful.
birria with the consomme,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
as good, I think. I actually often go for sans queso
Oh, do you?
and just birria. So
So 30 years, you guys. Looking back, like now that you've been there for 29 and a half?
29.5.
She's certainly watched all 30.
Yeah.
I just didn't marry her fast enough.
So what do you, I mean, if you could do the magic of like what you guys have created, is it that it just feels like a Narnia, that you feel like you're transported into another world? Which, I mean, for me, obviously there's the people and there's the food, you know, but for me, when I walked in there, it was months ago, I walked in for the first time with Ernie Hahn, you know, and I hadn't been there in probably 2 years, you know, and I went, oh God, I remember like how you walk in and you're just transported. Is it that transportation, you know, or is it the vibe, the people? What is the magic of En Fuego?
I got to say it's all the above, but mostly the best compliment that we get, the most regular compliment that we get is the atmosphere. You get that right out. Yeah. There's just no missing it. So Narnia or Encanto, we get that a lot. But you feel it first. And then it envelops you, and then a margarita and a cart of cracked taco, you're gone. You're transported.
Yeah.
And we all need that. We all need to escape, right? And so I lucked out with that space. I mean, the restaurant gods were staring down at me saying, "Hey, how about you?" And the irony, you brought El Pescador up. They were there 2 years, two-ish.
Yeah.
Baja Grill was there 2-ish years. The guys, my buddies from Las Olas, were there 2-ish
Las Olas,
years.
oh yeah.
Yeah. And so, the restaurant gods definitely said, "Hey, how about this kid? And let's see what he could do with it," kind of a deal. And
you were a kid with a philosophy degree that learned a couple things in a restaurant, but you were a terrible cook, but a great restaurant.
Terrible cook.
But if the vibe is sort of the number one thing that carries through those decades, the philosophy major, I'm seeing it all come together. Like you're curating a whole philosophy, a whole lifestyle that people can dig
dealing
into.
with staff the size of my staff, and to be fair, I have to mention them because En Fuego really is a statement about my staff, not necessarily the habanero salsa. My staff's on fire. They've always been on fire. Yeah. The one thing I'll give myself credit for is finding the right staff.
Yeah.
And treating them well. That's what En Fuego
you
is.
You curate people.
Right? The ambiance.
They've been with us years and years, a lot of them.
How old is your, I mean, not old, but how long has your longest running employee been?
All right.
Well, for our 30th, it was a ticketed event, but we invited a lot of our staff back and we comped them and their spouse.
Awesome.
So many of them showed. And we had a manager come back. He was with us for 17 years. That was Leo.
Yeah.
Other managers, 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. So it's a great address to call work for a while. But the winner of all of them is the whole Beltran Arroyo family. That has worked for me. I don't think they were there day one, but I'm sure
they were day 6.
I'm sure his cousin worked there because somehow I was gifted one of these Beltran Arroyo brothers. There are 9 brothers and 1 sister. I have employed 6 of them. And for 28 years, I've had a Beltran Arroyo on my payroll. So one guy's been with me for 25 years. The only time he missed was to go back to Mexico and get me more brothers.
No.
True story.
Yeah. To the Beltran Arroyo family.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll do this one. Okay.
There we go.
I will say one other thing in closing.
See, look who's stealing all the time now.
I love this.
Just another fact is that John is the only sole proprietor in Del Mar. The only one that comes second would be Poseidon, but he sold it for a while and then he bought it back.
Sold it to my property owner.
Oh, no
and
way.
she said, "I'm out of this restaurant business crap.
I don't want this
sold
anymore."
So that's noteworthy because these days you don't have a lot of sole proprietors.
Not at all.
It's all deep
You got
pockets.
your restaurant groups.
Restaurant groups that
management groups.
To go it alone in this valley of the shadow of death. You know, I mean, sorry,
It's
I didn't
just
make
not-
that sound that bad. But
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, people still think, "Oh, I want to open up my own place," and we go, "No,
And they're crazy.
You don't want to."
yeah.
What's the article you read? David Cohen.
Oh, yeah. David Cohen. Article some time ago said, back in the day, you would probably remember, there were 1 or 2 new restaurants a year.
Yeah.
Opening. Grand opening. 1 or 2.
Now they're 1 or 2 a week.
2 a week. 2 a week. And so it makes, and mostly restaurant groups, plenty of big goofy dough, to back it.
Big Goofy Dough is another great title of a
Big
book.
Goofy Dough. And so We opened with Smoke and Mirrors, and we're still doing it, which is great.
You opened it with Smoke and Mirrors on your
and
own
Mirrors.
philosophy degree, a bunch of tequila, a great
On Del Mar
environment,
opening day.
a wife that it took you a little time, but you finally acquisitioned that one, and she turned your life around.
Yeah.
And for 30 years, you guys have run that joint and kept it, and kept that magic alive. Because again, I walked in and I was like, oh yeah, this
still
is
here.
why.
Still doing it.
Yeah, still doing it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so that is where. Well, where can people find En Fuego, like Instagram?
Oh, thank you for asking. So obviously, enfuegocantina.com and En Fuego Cantina for Instagram, but the big one, because that one's already got like 20,000 viewers. What are we going to do?
La Tienda.
La Tienda, new to the game, not quite a year old. La Tienda Lounge on Instagram, latiendalounge.com.
Okay,
for the website.
I'm coming for a drink, and then we're going to Mexico.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah,
Troy's
right?
coming for just one drink.
Yes, one.
A drink.
I don't think Troy's ever come for a drink. All right, so now we move on to two people. No, Get Some. This is Get Some. This is the part of our show where we kind of give our recommendations of places that are not our own. A spot that you have been to recently, or a spot that you guys go to all the time. Some place that you're like, maybe.
Got 3 there.
Okay, there we go. Get in there.
I'm the go-to all the time, and you're the great place
First
we
of all,
bumped into.
he works all the time. So
Right.
we don't have a lot of nights off. He
Yeah.
still works. The only day off he takes is Sunday. So if we don't have a lot of parties coming in, then he'll head out on Saturday night or something.
Yeah.
So our local go-to is consistently Nick's Del Mar.
Yeah.
Not south of Nick's.
Okay.
Don't edit
Yeah.
that out. Not south of
Absolutely.
Nick's. Nick's Del Mar is consistent for us. The place that we really loved is the Italian place in North Park, Corey,
Pastificio.
that.
Yeah. Corey, he's world pasta champion. Crucia
Amazing.
Lota, phenomenal.
Yeah. That was-
Unbelievable. Like everything we just love.
And he's just cute as hell.
Yeah.
And it's
It
so
is.
Jack in the Box, which is also San Diego lore. Anyways.
Yeah. It's unfortunate though it doesn't have full liquor
Spirits.
license. 'Cause
I know.
I am
Right.
a
Soon.
I don't
Someday.
do beer and wine.
Let's help him.
Most recently, I would have to say Lana.
Lana, I have not been yet. Lana just opened up in
Neighbor,
Solana Beach.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm taking over the old California Pizza Kitchen,
Yeah.
of which in 1993 I was named the best boy at California Pizza Kitchen in Carmel Mountain Ranch. I'd just like to put that out.
Superlative.
I didn't see that photograph in the hallway.
You know what? We're gonna have to
outside.
frame that. I'm gonna bring it from the house. I still have it.
Wow.
All right. So Lana, what do you order at Lana? What was really good?
The first time I was there, I had the sea bass. It was really, really good. Oh, and the spicy tuna crudo was
Okay.
amazing.
Okay. So
and then-
and this is chef, and I'm forgetting his name right now. And it's gonna crush me. Anyways, he was Spago. He was Wolfgang Puck's like kind of right hand man for a long time. David McIntyre.
Yeah.
Him and his wife came down a long time ago trying to open up a restaurant called Crescent Heights, and it didn't work out because they're in a bad location. Phenomenal chef. I'm glad he's
Yeah.
back, and it's
Yeah.
It's-
Great location, great chef.
Yeah.
they did a
Yeah.
great job flipping it.
Where's your spot? I know you don't get to go
I
out.
just told you.
I know.
My spots are his
She
spots.
stole my spot. So Nick's is on the way home.
Okay.
So
What's your order at Nick's?
Sea bass.
Okay.
Sea bass. And we get the asparagus, which is amazing. And dare I say, the Nick's margarita, which is a Tommy's margarita, but amazing, right? But if I'm on the way home, right? The restaurant's in Del Mar. We live in Carmel Valley.
Yep.
I'm on the way home. Hey, can we just meet at Nick's? And bam.
Yeah. And
Whether
bam.
it's at
That's
the
it.
bar, that's why it's our go-to.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's easy. They do a
Fits
great
in.
job.
I love it. All right, Jackie, where you go?
I was at Bika the other day, and this is actually kind of a cool story idea. So I didn't know this. In Normal Heights on Adams Avenue, there is a gym called The Yard, and apparently that is where all the chefs in San Diego hang out and like work out. I don't work out; that's like not part of my consciousness. So I had no idea that this was happening. I wouldn't pay attention to that, but it's like a thing, and they all go and they have like kind of a crew. They all go to Bika after in the morning. They have coffee. They chill. They're eating the toasts. So it's a very cool, like Monday, beginning of the week vibe. And that's before they have their nighttime thing
So you're
where they
telling me
bring
you
all
get
the
to go
chefs
hang
in.
out with people with muscles and eat sandwiches.
I know, which is like,
Okay. Yeah.
which is cool.
Hey, look, I like looking at pretty people too.
I know.
Okay.
So
Is that where they play basketball? Don't all the chefs
No,
get
but
together and
that's
play
a thing
basketball?
too. Yes, that's another thing. So the chefs are getting out there and they're active, which I'm proud of them and I'm happy for them. And one day maybe I'll join their ranks. But I watched. But anyway, Bika, it's still got a great situation. They've got a really beautiful espresso tonic on the menu. I just always have to shout that out when I see it because it makes me so happy. And I had it's stone fruit season. So it was some amalgamation, some like jam, ricotta toast. We've seen this before. It's not, it's not new, but it's delicious. And all the inputs there are really good. So I hadn't
Pretty
been
much
to
anything
Bika.
Bika does is
I
fantastic.
hadn't been there in like
Yeah.
a really long time, like 8 months or something like that. And I'm really glad I stopped back in. Still totally cooking. No pun intended.
I went about 7 months ago when I was doing the research for the best restaurants, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, still great. And
So
they're
good.
doing a lot of chef stuff. Monday night, they bring in a lot of chefs just to cook for fun. It's open to the public. It's an industry night, but it is open to the public. It's a vibe. So if you want to go, you want to eat, you want to hang out with like some really good people who also love to work out, you can do that there.
Speaking of beautiful people, I went to Little Victory. So we had them on the podcast about a month and a half ago. They're in Carlsbad, and this is the two husbands and wives. Long story short, was a pop-up dinner series by I believe it's Elliot and Kelly. I'm sorry. Yes, it is Elliot and Kelly. Elliot and Kelly Townsend, who worked at Juniper and Ivy. He was the chef de cuisine at Cowboy Star for a little while. And she was also at Juniper and Ivy. They're both great chefs. And they're super local. Not in like, a weird proselytizing way. And the fact that they're like, dude, look, great. One of his favorite quotes. I'm actually writing a story right now about this. He's like, my whole thing about it, it's like, food from right over there tastes a lot better than older food from over there. You know what I mean? So he's like, just like Cardiff Crack, that's made right down the street. It is. So, so they do a super local menu. And then the other couple in this restaurant, and it's in this little, like, almost looks like an old school little house on the prairie sort of farmhouse. And they have like different chairs. They're two married couples making it go the best they can, like you guys did. And you're like, smart. Let's just get some chairs from Rosarito and I kind of build this ourselves and let's figure it out. And they have a Thompson Heritage Ranch Caesar tartare. Ooh. Holy shit. It is one of the best things I've had in a long time. I was with two people, Ernie Hahn and being one of them, and they don't eat tartare. And I said, they're like, since we're here with you, we're going to give it a shot. They ate the entire damn thing. They were like, this is the best thing. It's Caesar. And I've eaten a lot of raw cubed meat in my profession, and I'd never seen anybody make a house Caesar and toss that meat.
Never seen that.
It was so good.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've never seen that.
It was phenomenal. If you don't know Thompson Heritage Ranch, it's another podcast that you should listen to. I don't know if you should listen to that one or not, because I love Ty, but I don't know if he actually talked too much. But he's some of the best meat in San Diego. Very, 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 very expensive, because he spends so much money actually raising those animals and feeding them basically farmers market stuff, and that's why the meat tastes so good. But it is, every time I eat that meat, I'm like, holy crap, this is good.
You can
so
tell.
Go to Little Victory. The other married couple I should mention, is Jeremy Simpson. He was the bar director at Jenna Jolie, Michelin star, Campfire, and he was up at Bestia. He ran the bar program at Bestia, which is one of the best restaurants in LA. And so those two married couples doing something in Carlsbad, and it's indoor, outdoor. Their kids are hanging out, like doing chalk on the front, like it's a family oriented place. Everything about it feels right. So go up to Little Victory.
Done.
That's it. You guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much
Thanks,
for bringing in
you
the
Thanks for
food.
having us.
Our bottle 001 of
Yes.
your mezcal reposado. It's phenomenal to see a single proprietor making it not 10 years, which is a feat, 20 years, 30 years through a global pandemic, and creating someplace that feels like San Diego, because you built it into the San Diego culture in Del Mar. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you
Thank
too.
you.
I know you have your own business, but I know that the only way that somebody like this makes it too is by has something that basically yells up to him at a sign. Is like, glad you got out of the restaurant business. Oh, you're in it? Okay, right on.
And now you're in it too.
I'm way in
date
it.
you.
I'm in deep.
Never gonna date you.
Yeah.
Famous
You'll
last
never
words.
learn.
All right, you guys. This has been En Fuego. Everybody go check out La Tienda, their new cocktail concept right upstairs. And next week we will be back with, who do we have next week? We got good news. San Diego's first zero-proof bar has opened up, and we're going to talk about...
Really?
I know, right?
Yeah, there's room for that.
Now there is room for that because sometimes, like, I love my mezcal, I love my tequila, I love my wine, and some nights I'm like, you know what I need? A night out, a social hour, but I don't want to drink today.
And Gen Z.
Still make that meeting in the morning.
Yeah.
And still make that meeting in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys next week.